Hi guys, welcome to Tea Fairy Storytime. Today we are reading about tomtas. You can see I have my little gnome friends here. And tomtas and gnomes are similar, kind of. They come from fairly the same part of the world. This is a book that is written by Kristen Sevig. It's called The Little Winter Book of Gnomes. And on the back it says gnomes are a noun, a legendary dwarfish creature who wears a pointed hat. Do you see my pointed hat? A wise, pithy saying and maxim. I didn't know that part. I did not know that a gnome was a wise, pithy saying and maxim. Well, this book is full of gnomes. Not only gnomes with pointed hats, but wise, pithy sayings and maxims. The Little Winter Book of Gnomes by author Kristen Sevig. Do you see the little gnome guy? To my husband Chris, whom I adore, there is gnome one I would rather have beside me. A big thank you to Carrie Pearson, my gnome support team captain. And see the little cute little couple of gnomes? I'm supposed to be a gnome. Hello, lovelies. My name is Kristen Sevig, and I am an artist from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who loves watercolor. In order to understand my love of gnomes and how this book came to be, you must first understand that my family is very Norwegian. One could go so far as to say extremely Norwegian. My mother is from Norway, and my father is enthusiastically Norwegian by heritage. The first words they ever exchanged were in Norwegian, and my sister and I raised in the only Norwegian-speaking household on the block. We grew up listening to the great Nordic folk tales, which often featured gnomes, trolls, and other related creatures like tomtas. The gnome family is quite extensive worldwide, but the gnomes in this book are inspired first and foremost by the ones I remember fondly from my childhood. And see, there's a whole family of them. Little ones and girl ones and boy ones. You might be surprised to learn, as I was, that there is another quite different kind of gnome. I was telling my husband Chris an old Norwegian proverb, because of course I was, which led him to ask if there is another word for proverb. I looked it up in a thesaurus and found the word gnome. This led me to a dictionary because I had to confirm this definition, and sure enough, there it was. Gnome, noun. Gnome, plural, is gnomes, a legendary dwarf creature who wears a pointed hat, a wise, pithy saying, a maxim. Norwegians had once again led me back to gnomes, which is how the concept for this book was born. Wisdom is welcome wherever it comes from, as the gnomes goes, and I couldn't resist this fun pairing and including a few of my favorite Nordic winter crafts and recipes. I hope you enjoy these playful combinations of gnomes. You never know. Maybe this will lead you to make surprising and delightful discoveries of your own. And then she's saying something in Norwegian that I do not know how to pronounce, and I'm not even going to try because I might get it wrong. So this is Kirsten's signature with a happy face. And there's a bunch of gnomes making snow angels. Aren't they cute? Have you guys ever made snow angels? Where you lay in the snow and you move your arms and legs up and down and it makes wings and a skirt. Super fun. So here's our first gnome. There's a gnome and here's a gnome. There is no such thing as bad weather, only unsuitable clothing. I agree. What goes up must come down. What are they doing? Are they sledding? That looks fun. We all start as fools and become wise through experience. I hope so. Do you see their little ice skates on their little feet? They're ice skating. Have you guys ice skated before? It's hard, but it's fun. Take yourself lightly. What's this gnome doing? Is he skiing? I think so. Oh, turning the pages. He who thinks too much about every step will stay on one leg all his life. I like that one. And then here is a recipe. And this is for a non-alcoholic glog. And a glog is a kind of a drink. It's like a hot drink that you drink in the wintertime. And it's got currants and grape or berry juice and apples and oranges and ginger and cinnamon and brown sugar and cardamom and nutmeg, allspice, anise, cloves, raisins, and almonds. Doesn't that sound yummy? It sounds really good. It almost kind of sounds like chai. Many a good tune can be played on an old fiddle. I like that one. Fortune favors the brave. I agree with that one. Look at the cute little hearts that are hanging. They're like little white and red hearts. They look like they're made of paper. 2 balls of yarn are better than 1. That's kind of like 2 heads are better than 1. Similar. Uh-oh, pages are sticking. The best things in life are made by hand. And look, he made a little snow gnome. Isn't it cute? I wonder how he got that snow hat to be so pointy. Here is directions on how to make a snowball lantern. I've never made one of those before. You make it outside to enjoy outside, and all you need is snow and a candle or a tea light and a long match or lighter. And I guess you like make the snowballs and you pile them up just so around the candle, and then you put in your long lighter or match and you light it, and it shows through the snow like that. That's kind of cool. I've never seen one before. Here's a good one. Practice makes perfect. I like that one. That's one of my favorites. I say that all the time. Practice makes perfect. The way to a gnome's heart is through their stomach. I believe that. What is that gnome doing? Is he cooking? I bet he's making cookies. Cookies are made of butter and love. And look, there's the mama gnome, and she's got cookies for her little gnome. I love cookies. What's your favorite kind of cookie? I like gingerbread. Ooh, speaking of cookies, here's a recipe for marzipan. And it takes almond flour and powdered sugar and cold water and almond extract and cocoa, food coloring, and melted chocolate. And you can make all kinds of things out of marzipan. It's kind of like clay that you can mold with. And then you paint it. And you can eat it. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And look, she made a snow gnome, but it's a woman snow gnome. It always takes gnomes longer to tell you what they think than what they know. I wonder why that is. Uh-oh. It's one of those pages that wants to stick. You guys ever have that problem? The best things come in small packages. That's cute. All the little packages. And gnomes wouldn't have big packages. They would only have small packages. Only those who wander find new paths. I like that one a lot. I've been a bit of a wandering soul all my life. And I do find new paths. Little strokes fell great oaks. I think that means like if you take little tiny chops with an axe, that it can make a big tree fall. So if you make little tiny efforts, that you can make great things happen. Little strokes fell great oaks. And an oak is the tree, and he's got his firewood. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I think that those are supposed to be apples. The tree with strong roots laughs at storms. Ooh, I like that one. That means that if you're very secure in who you are and what you know, then the big things aren't as hard. They don't take you off guard as much. Gnomes help those who give them rice porridge, because that's their favorite food. Tomtons too, they really like porridge. And here is a recipe for porridge. And you need water and a medium grain rice and whole milk and salt and sugar. That looks yummy. I would say putting some cinnamon on it too. Sounds good. A good laugh prolongs your life. Laughter is good medicine. No one laughs alone for long. Look, they're so happy. Aren't they cute? I love gnomes. The more, the merrier. That's a good one. That's one of my favorites too. I always like having good company. And there they are. They're all dancing. Dancing gnomes. How cute. Few situations cannot be improved by dancing. I agree wholeheartedly. I love dancing. It takes two to tango. A good song is best shared. I agree. Do you like to sing? You won't always know the song. Sing anyway. That's good advice. And look, there's 3 gnomes and they're singing, they're caroling. Are you guys going to go out and do caroling? I love going out and singing with people. Ooh, look, woven heart baskets. Remember when I said earlier in the book that there was cute little ornaments that were hanging that look like they're made of paper? These are them. They're little woven heart baskets. Aren't they adorable? And they're made of paper. So all you need is paper and a ruler and scissors and glue. Necessity teaches the naked woman to spin, meaning that you'd be very cold if you didn't have clothes. So things that you need make you work so that you can have them. She who chops her own wood will be warmed by it twice. I like that one. That's a good one. Don't start a fire bigger than you can put out. That's very good advice, both in real life and as a thought. Don't start a fire bigger than you can put out. It is better to light a candle than to curse the darkness. I agree. And then here's a recipe for rice cream with berry sauce. Ooh, that sounds good. The sauce is water, sugar, and raspberries or strawberries. And the pudding ingredients is whipping cream and sugar and vanilla extract and drops of almond extract and rice porridge. Wow, that looks yummy. I might have to go home and have some of that. Food can feed your stomach, but music feeds your soul. And look, she's got an accordion, and it looks like some kind of recorder, and a tuba. Many hands make light work, and that means if you work together, then work isn't so hard, because if you're all working together, then there's less to do for each individual, and it gets done faster. And it's easier for everybody. Look at everybody working together. Isn't that wonderful? I like seeing people work together. A warm drink is a hug in a mug. Ooh, and then here's a recipe for mulled apple cider, which is apple juice, but it's strained, so it's like fresh apple juice. And you put in cinnamon sticks and cloves and orange slices and cardamom and fresh ginger and anise and allspice berries. And you can add additional cinnamon sticks and orange slices for serving. But then you heat it up, and oh my goodness, it's so good. It's one of my favorite holiday drinks. Oops, there we go. A bird in the hat is worth 2 in the wheat. And there's a bird in his hat, and there's 2 in the wheat. When the cat is away, the mice will play. And look, there's all these little mice all over the page, little tiny mice. I really like this book. It's just little. Perfect for little hands. An accidental fart should be covered up by coughing. I don't know. I think you should definitely say, "Excuse me." And if you cough, you should cover your mouth. It is easier to learn what you don't need to know. And that is true. Keep quiet and people will think you are a philosopher. It is better to give than to receive, unless you're a hungry goat. What a cute little goat. We had a goat one time. We named it Sunny. Sunny White. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's an important thing to know. And what do you think that those are that he's feeding? Are those squirrels? I love squirrels. And then here is a recipe for candied almonds. And you'll need sugar and cinnamon and water and almonds to make them. That sounds pretty easy. Might have to try to make some candied almonds. Don't waste time looking back. You aren't going that way. Look, she's skating on the water. The courage to continue is what counts. He's making little marks with his skis and his poles. Oh, this book is so small. Take one step at a time. That's really good advice. Sometimes it can be really overwhelming when you try to go too fast. So you should just go slowly and take one step at a time. Every little bit helps. And see the little guy he's putting the star on the top of the tree. Very important part of the tree. Every little bit helps. The journey is the reward. I agree. And the last one, guys, all's well that ends well. And it looks like it's been knitted. Great textures, great illustrations, great maxims. I'm really impressed. Thank you, Kirsten Sevig, for sending in this lovely book. Can you count the gnomes. How many gnomes did you see? Have you guys seen Tomta? There? I am the Tomta in the deep part of winter when the air bites cold and the night skies light up with stars of silver and gold. Snow covers the land, trees and buildings too. Every being is asleep. No neigh, no oink, no moo. Only I, the Tomta, am awake now to see the grace of winter's eve sparkling all around me. For it is I, the Tomta, who tends the farm and makes sure all is quiet and right, and secures the locks and every door to make sure all is safe at night. It's my calling to care for the animals here, the cows, the chickens, and the sheep. It's my honor to check on the family too, making sure they're tucked in fast asleep. The magical thing about Tomta is that just animals and children can hear me and see me. And Tomta can talk with dogs, cat and mouse, and with child and goat and bee. I understand them all and help them make sure that they are safe and sound in their beds and pens and barns and yards. But my favorite is my friend the hound. She is my friend and walks with me as I make my nightly rounds on the farm. She talks to me of daytime things and helps me secure all against harm. We part ways before the sun comes up. Before it rises, she to her doghouse and I to the loft where I sleep in the hay and dream all day of the sweetness of life and all things soft. I am the Tomta. This is my duty. I am the Tomta. I love what I do. I protect, serve, and retire before day. I love taking care of all of you. And before we go, I have one more show and tell. Are you guys ready? It's very special. Maybe we can get the camera to focus in on it. And it'll be our closing. Okay, do you see the trees? Well, when there's storms, sometimes you can't see the trees, but they're still there. And that's it, guys. See you next year.